I'm sitting here talking to the family, and I was like, I was listening to this video, and this thing just crossed my mind, and I'm making a note of it because I'm like, I'm probably gonna revisit this one. It's pretty much something I said, like, if 10,000 people get attacked by one person, then they call that person a monster. But if 10,000 people attack one person, then they call that person a monster. And I was talking about the fact that people be attacking like people, and then they know that they wrong, but they don't stop. And then they know that if it was a regular person and they was attacking them, that if that person had died, then it would not have been nothing. But if they continuously doing it over and over again, they know for a fact that that's not a regular person, right? So even with that logic, because I was listening to this thing and I said what I just said. If you got 10,000 people going against one person and they all throwing arrows and the arrows is not hitting, they don't see the angels in front, the back, or the sides. They all just sitting there throwing stuff, right? And they trying to figure out why you not dying. So they call you a monster. If you sitting as one person and you sitting there and you attacking 10,000 people, they call you a monster. Look at the thing. Which one is worse? In one particular situation, you was being defended and you were being guided or covered by your team helping you, right? In the other sense, you attacking mad people, which is what they do in a lot of dictatorships when they want to have control and they just want people to just be under thumb. So they just do stuff to make them follow law. You got 10,000 people throwing shit at somebody, one person, and that one person has to, with the team, survive it, be strong. And then they be like, they don't like the fact that you so strong, you so powerful. Fuck you. And then they got these ideas about what it is that you supposed to look like if you somebody who's supposed to be divine. Fuck you. Or if you somebody who's supposed to be somebody who's supposed to be seen by people. Fuck you. What the fuck do they think? And then is this. You doing stuff like this and you sending things and you know for a fact you doing it to a high vibrational being. High vibrational, not low vibrational. High vibrational. You sit there and you put somebody through a whole bunch of stuff. And you know that if they was low vibrational, you would have just been able to just jump into their body or you would have just been able to do something to them. Obviously, you've been doing shit for years they didn't know about. But by the time they figured out some stuff, you sitting there, you just like, ooh, right? This is another reason why I said this shit is weird. And if I sit here and I think about stuff in different ways, because this is another perspective I have not looked at, but it's true. People will sit there and they know about your light, know about you before you know about you because they're looking at you from past lives whenever they turn on and they know stuff about you. But the one of the things that get me about this shit for me is the fact that I should have known about me a long time ago, but people purposefully was blocking me and doing stuff to me so I didn't know nothing about me and harvesting pieces off of me and shit and draining me over and over again so they could get upgrades and they could get things. Using me like a fucking battery over and over again and taking things from me and trying to make me miss shit by the time I'm sitting here because they didn't want me to be able to know nothing. When I got to first waking up and realized that these people just wanted to destroy me, I cried. Periodically in between, I cry because of the shit that I've realized. It comes to me and I'm just like, yo. And then I thought to myself, why would they want me not to wake up? It has to mean something why they didn't want me to wake up. So then, slowly but surely, I sit there and I start learning stuff. Slowly but surely, I start using my mind for me and everybody else. Cause I'm like, this ain't right. Nobody won't know nothing about what I've done or how I think or what I do or anything like that unless the family puts it out there or they read my fucking book. But these people, all these people who've been sitting here doing this shit to me, people who've been getting high off the hog and taking, having fun and everything, and they laughing in their chest, laughing. For me to sit there for fucking months and cry as I heard the shit that these motherfuckers was doing as I was going back, looking and going forward, looking through to try to stay in the present and not lose my shit. So yeah, I feel away sometimes when I sit here and I hear things about people sitting there going, they just want to come run to you because they feel as if you can hide them. When they didn't want to sit there and try to help you or hide you. They wanted to sit there and pimp you out like you was a fucking battery to every fucking body, telling all their friends how to come get some, and them sitting there doing the worst to you. That's weird, yo. And I think about how many times over this year, even when I was sad, did not get a break. No. Still had to be strong and still had to check myself as best as possible because I couldn't even sit here and just be because motherfuckers is getting high off of my emotions. Trying to check to see whether or not they could come mess with me. They wrong. So, it's weird to me. How is that double standard? You could have 10,000 people doing something to one person and they're going to call you a monster. You do something to somebody, or you matter of fact, they get back what they gave and they want to sit there and they don't never want to be seen as the fucking monster, but they want to make you the monster because they can sit there and do whatever they want to you until they can't no more. That's wrong. That's why I'm hoping, and I do hope, that with the changes that come into the world, that they actually do, like, make stuff better. That they actually do have change. And stuff don't be so fucking weird. Because you know what happens? Even as I seen, and this popped into my head, this show, I Am a Virgo. This guy, he's a kid. He's like 16 years old. And he's a giant. He's like 13, 16 feet tall or something. And it runs in his family or something. His parents been trying to keep him hidden because they knew that until he gets to 18 and he was able to have some sort of a thing about him, everybody who sees giants, they see them as monsters and they just feel like they gotta kill them. He a kid though, so he don't see it like that. He just want to go out and hang out and have friends. He just want to go out and he want to just see people. He just want to go out and have fun. And his parents are sitting there and they like, nah, you can't. Because these people, they going to want to kill you. But he ain't see it. So he goes outside and he starts looking at people. And just like a kid, other kids come around and they start taking him out to places. And people looking at him like he crazy. They treat him one way good until he do something bad. And then everybody want to sit there and jump on him and fight him. I only watched one episode of it because I don't know what happened to the rest of it. But they all, and within the first episode, jumped on him because they thought he was going to do something. They was trying to jump him because they saw him as a monster. But he's the most gentle one. He just liked to read books and talk about TV because that's all he had to do every single day. They didn't even give him a chance because he was different than all of them. Visually seen, it was different. Thing about being a divine being, an earth angel, a fucking chosen one, a light worker, however you call it, they look like regular people until they glow. Until people could see behind and they see their aura and they see that they pure. Or they could sit here and they can tell you something you ain't know about something, or give you a message from somebody who could have loved you or somebody who could have knew you or whatever. They look just like everybody else blended in. And you sit here and you don't even know it. Until somebody sits there and decides to do some shit to you and then they see you like a monster and they just want to jump on you and hurt you. And they wrong. They are so fucking wrong. So it's gonna be a change. It has to be. How? I don't know. That's for the family to do. Because, or enough, a group of people with enough of a mind to sit there and figure out what would be fair. Because the only thing about it is, ultimately, people is going to sit here and they're going to try to wage a war. They wage wars against one. So what do they do against all? It won't go well for them. it wouldn't go well for. This is what I said about that thing where I see that out in a possible outcome. If that's what they do to one, what you think they'll do if they knew that it was 144,000 strong all together at the same fucking time? And then they all have the ability to do different things. And their shit come back. The powers that motherfuckers been trying to harness off of, taking all of that other shit. You can't beat that. Because you sitting there literally playing with people who are divine beings and cosmic beings, healers and so on, that was put on the earth to help you, but yet you won't see them like that. You see them as monsters. So you treat them like monsters. And for nothing else. But the fact that they have love in their heart, they sit there and they just, for the most part, try to take it and keep going. And that means something. Because a lot of these motherfucking people, they just wrong. And they don't take nothing for them to rally up a crowd of people to go sit there and attack. It takes a grown-ass person, man or female, to sit there to see that when somebody's doing some shit like that, that's wrong. But they don't say nothing. Because you look different. When you act different, look different, talk different, whatever. And then, like I said, you can't even tell that they're different. But they are. And that's wrong. That the people just sit there. And you know, for the most part, I'll be sitting there and I go, why do I feel the way I feel? Because I'm a victim of the shit, or I'm a survivor of the shit. I'm a survivor of this shit. I might be a victim right now, but I'm gonna survive through this shit. But it still don't change the fact that I am what I am and I've been this way. And I was born this way. As many others, born this way. So it's just, you know, these people, they sit there and they do mad shit when it comes to them taking. You gotta fight hard as fuck for you to be able to even be able to smile and shit. But it do make you strong. You all have gifts. We either see stuff forward, we can see through the cards. The family tell you stuff. You sit there or you heal people. You tell people how to heal themselves. You show people how to do certain things. You could promote positivity. You can do all these things. But if people are sitting there amongst hatred and that's all they want, they just gonna keep fueling it off of that hatred and lying. Because it's easier for them to sit there and believe a lie than for them to sit there and tell the fucking truth. Help. It's simple. That's why they keep saying that truth hurts, but a lie feel good. It's like, why lie then? Just don't say nothing. I've been sitting here trying to figure out how stuff goes towards me. Every time I sit here to try to figure shit out and I want to go out there and say something to him, try to explain it, I gotta go back and forth so fucking hard to explain a little bit. I could sit here, talk to the family and get my thoughts out in these recordings and to them, and it goes smoothly. Why? I don't know. If nobody can't understand what the hell I'm saying, when I'm saying it plainly like this, I don't know what to say. But I know I'm not a fucking monster. And people should not be sitting there treating me like I don't know why ogre just popped in my head. There's that movie with the ogre that came out of it was like in Switzerland or something, or Sweden. And the ogre came up out of the mountain, and he was looking for his babies. And his baby had died. And they had used the baby's skull and the baby's bones to get him to go to a place for them to kill him. And they did kill him. Because he didn't be able to go back into the mountain by the time the sun came out. They thought they killed him and they killed the baby. And then the mom woke up. So they're going to have a whole nother thing to fight on that one. It's like, yo, people be doing shit, especially when they don't understand. And I am not one who is not susceptible to that too, because it's going to take me a while to accept a lot of things that I have been closed off to. But I'm not just sitting here just saying flat out to everything, not impossible. Because I am not impossible if that's the case. If I am possible, then there are things that are possible. But there is some shit I'm not accepting. I'm just not accepting it. Because it's like, yeah, no. And there's some things it's like, well, you know what? It's possible. And if it's possible, if I could think it, it could be true. That's why I go with it. Why? Because of the way that I think, and I think outside the box too. That means something. A lot. Later.